Welcome, everybody. My name is Mike Freeman. I work for the city of Fort Collins. I do finance and economic development, and I also represent the city on the board of RMI2. And I've been fairly involved in this project, really, with Mark and others, kind of since day one. Just to kind of start a little bit off, putting this in context, it was really good timing this week. Kauffman Foundation, which is probably the premier organization that represents entrepreneurs and startup companies globally, located in Kansas City. They put out some data this week, which I think a lot of people who understand the role of incubation in an overall economic development program understand this. But their analysis that they just put out talks about between 1980 and 2005, almost all net new jobs in the U.S. were created by firms that were 5 years old or less. And it's not to say that large existing employers aren't important, but in terms of the overall mix in economic development, incubation and supporting startups is a really important part of the overall puzzle. And that's what RMI2 does. It's a launch pad for companies that are just beginning in their existence, and creates an environment that's conducive for them growing and then staying in the community. I'd like to thank a couple people and also recognize some folks and ask them to come up today. Ken and James, do you mind coming up? Ken Bennett is part of Betsy Markey's staff, and James Thompson, Senator Bennett, and they were going to just, sorry? Oh, why don't you come up, James? And they're just going to provide a few remarks on behalf of our federal elected officials.
Thank you. Senator Bennett sends his regrets he couldn't make it, and we tried hard to get up here, but it just did not fit into the schedule. However, he did want me to read a letter on his behalf, and of course, I'm going to do so because he's my boss. So I will just read this, and I will present this to Mark, too, and Mark is somewhere around here. Okay. Dear Mark, congratulations on the opening of your new facility, where the work of turning innovative ideas into new businesses will continue. Over the years, the Rocky Mountain Innovation Initiative has helped to open the door of opportunity for new businesses across northern Colorado, businesses that might have struggled to get off the ground without your help. Your efforts have created new jobs, helped new entrepreneurs, and contributed to economic development in Colorado. In addition, this new LEED certified building demonstrates a commitment to green energy and the health of our environment. I applaud your success and continued growth. My staff in Fort Collins and I will continue to support your endeavors in any way we can, and we look forward to working closely together in the future. Sincerely, Michael F. Bennett. Thanks.
Well, thank you. The Congresswoman Betsy Markey was actually planning on being here today. She's very familiar with RMI Squared and the work that you've been doing, and very, very excited about what you have been doing and the prospects of what you're going to be doing. Unfortunately, she was called away on some official business that required her to be out of district today, so I get to speak a few words on her behalf. Very familiar, very appreciative of the work that RMI Squared has been doing. Thanks to the work of all of you, many businesses have directly been helped and be able to get off the ground and establish jobs and a stronger economy here in northern Colorado. Also, the spinoff. For every company that you have helped, there's other companies that are also being helped. This truly is a model of public-private partnership. And the Congresswoman, myself, and other members of our staff, Jamie from our Fort Collins office, the last several months we have been in communication with various departments in Washington, D.C., talking to them about how this is a model of what's happening here in northern Colorado that can help advance economic development and jobs and the betterment of everybody. So congratulations, and glad to see you moving forward. Thank you.
Well, last but not least of the congressional delegation, Senator Mark Udall sends his best to all of you in his congratulations. He's asked me to read a letter here today, and it reads as follows. Dear fellow Coloradans, guests, and members of Rocky Mountain Innovation Initiative, congratulations on your groundbreaking ceremony. I am pleased, just as you are, to see your leadership on energy efficiency and green construction with this state-of-the-art LEED Gold certified building. This is truly a milestone for the community, and I join you in celebrating. With this building, you are affirming your belief in a sustainable future for our children, as well as your support for new technology and local entrepreneurship. It will be a model for all of Colorado and the nation. Even more importantly, this building demonstrates that we can accomplish great things as a community through partnerships and collaboration. You have innumerable supporters in this venture, including the Fort Collins City Council and its staff, the Urban Renewal Authority Board, local businesses, and citizens of this area. Over the coming years, when this building is completed, I know we can continue to work together to create and foster economic opportunity, economic development, and innovation in Northern Colorado and our state. Thank you for including me today in this celebration. Sincerely, Mark Udall, United States Senator, Colorado. Thank you very much.
I'd like to recognize a couple of city folks who have really made this project happen. Ben Manville, would you mind raising your hand? Ben's been a huge supporter of RMI2, North College, all the redevelopment activities in this corridor. Mayor Hutchinson is going to speak in a moment, so you'll see him, and I'd echo the same thoughts. Darren Attebery, the city manager, basically let us cut loose on this project and work on this, so we really appreciate that, because it's a pretty interesting project. The financing is very complicated. It's not the kind of thing a city does every day, so I really appreciate the support I've gotten from Darren to be able to kind of work with Mark and others on this project. Don, would you mind coming up? Don Marostica is on behalf of Governor Ritter. He runs the state Office of Economic Development, and Don's been hugely supportive of this project, up to and including he and his board supporting a grant that came to RMI2 this past year for to help with operating costs. We had a very small gift for you in a token of our appreciation for all the support, Don, you've given us. And
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you want to say anything?
Thank you, RMI2, for what you do. This is a big thing, and it's a great thing for the state of Colorado. Economic development and jobs at this time is very, very important to us. So keep up the good work. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So just a couple of final comments, and then I'm going to turn it over to a couple of speakers. Today is really the result of a tremendous amount of work on behalf of the RMI2 board. I'd like board members, you wouldn't mind raising your hands. I'm not going to be able to recognize you individually. But today is not a chance kind of circumstance. The board of this organization has been working extremely hard over the last couple of years to significantly grow the programs and services of RMI2. In fact, if you know a little bit of the history of the organization, before Rocky Mountain Innovation Initiative used to have the name of the Fort Collins Technology Incubator, which at one point didn't even have any physical space. We've come such a long way in the last couple of years, and really want to thank Mark Forsyth. He was brought in deliberately by this board to dramatically grow this organization, which he's doing. And it really takes a lot of effort on behalf of the board, the financial support that the partners provide, and most importantly, ultimately, the staff to pull this kind of project off. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Mayor Doug Hutchinson, who also serves as the president of the Urban Renewal Authority Board.
As mayor, I don't have too many specific powers, but I did exercise one that apparently has worked when I directed the city manager, Darren Attebery, to not have any snow or rain during the ceremony. And good job, Darren. I'm really delighted to be here, and I want to thank you for coming today to this historic groundbreaking ceremony for the Rocky Mountain Innovation Initiative, RMI2. The city has been a staunch supporter of this program and a partner for entrepreneurial community that we have in the northern Colorado region. When I ran for mayor in 2005, the biggest plank in my platform was about economic health in a balanced way that fit Fort Collins. Fort Collins can't create, a city government cannot create jobs directly, in my opinion, but a city government can be a catalyst and can create an environment where entrepreneurs and the business community can succeed. This is a classic example of that. RMI2 exemplifies this approach to economic health by incubating businesses and sending them successfully out into our community, essentially growing our own. This development will be the Urban Renewal Authority's fourth project on the north side of Fort Collins. And I used to live here a little bit further north overlooking Terry Lake, and it's so great to see this kind of momentum going for the quality of the North College area and its economic success. And I do sit as the president of the URA. The council sits as the members of the URA board. So it's worth noting that we are very excited to once again be participating in this vibrant public-private partnership, the kinds of efforts that exist that are so productive in a very difficult time on North College. You may not be aware, but there's more than $100 million in development and infrastructure projects that are slated to occur in North College in the next 12 to 18 months. In this day and age, I think that's just an incredible number, an incredible achievement from the partnerships that we have had that are productive. The RMI2 program has been extremely successful, and we commend those who are continuing this mission to grow businesses within our own community. And as Mike pointed out, this is really an overflow demand kind of thing, because the previous technology incubator, there was standing room only and people in line to get into it, and it's been very successful. So this is a follow-on, an improvement, an enhancement to something that's very important to our community. And as a community, we should be proud of the steps that business and property owners have taken to ensure that this area receives much needed infrastructure improvements. The North Fort Collins Business Association partnered with the Urban Renewal Authority, a great collaborative, productive partnership, to use this option to spur redevelopment. And this is a prime example of those kind of partnerships and collaborative efforts coming to fruition. As the URA Citizen Advisory Group recommended, the board voted to approve this project last summer for tax increment financing. It is in the public good, certainly is in our economic good in Fort Collins. We did that knowing how many entrepreneurs and how many jobs that it will continue to provide to the community. So congratulations to RMI2 staff and the development team for a great plan, becoming the regional leader in northern Colorado. And I really look forward to the groundbreaking ceremony and eventually to a ribbon cutting ceremony here. This is truly a great day for the city of Fort Collins. It's a great day for our long-term economic health. Thank you so much.
People that have followed this project somewhat closely understand this radically crazy financing structure we put together to get this project done. One of the pieces is an extraordinarily complicated program called New Market Tax Credits. And Josh Burks, the day he was hired by the city, walked in. I basically said, "Hey, would you mind handling the New Market Tax Credits for this project?" Little did he know what he was getting involved in. There's literally over 100 legal agreements required to execute on the New Market Tax Credits. The New Market Tax Credit program brings about $1.8 million of equity to this project. So without that financing stream, we would not have been able to finance this project and get this done. And I really want to thank Josh for that, and he's going to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Mike. As Mike said, I'm Josh Burks, the Economic Advisor for the City of Fort Collins. I joined the city about a year ago, and as Mike said, I think it was maybe the second hour I was on the job, he handed me this particular project and said, "I don't know a lot about New Market Tax Credits. How much do you know?" And I said, "Not that much either, but I think we can figure this one out." And what we basically are recognizing today is the hard work of a whole group of folks, including city staff and others outside of the city that have worked diligently to put this package together. It was my role to basically act as the liaison for the city to this process and really focusing on the financing and putting together the project's financing. As Mike said, we were able to leverage the New Market Tax Credit Program, which is a program that the federal government created several years ago, specifically designed at encouraging economic development activities, and specifically in those areas of our communities that are in need of extra help. And the North College Urban Renewal Area is one of those places that qualifies in that regard. We have several partners in this New Market Tax Credit process, including the Colorado Housing Finance Authority, U.S. Bank Community Development Corporation, who actually acted as the equity partner, the city, and of course the Urban Renewal Authority. as Mike said, it's an extremely complicated process. I think I learned a lot about legalese. I think I now speak it pretty well. I read over 100 documents, legal documents. I have more gray hair to show for it. But the great news is that it was able to allow us to leverage a unique federal tool and really help this project kind of get over one of the major hurdles. In a lot of ways, this project exemplifies our economic health strategy that has really been developed under the leadership of the mayor and Darren, the city manager, since they've taken the reins of the city, which is a strategy of first incubating, then retaining and expanding our local businesses, and last, attracting new business to town. I think we've recognized that our best chance for the future is leveraging the assets that we have. Our cluster strategies are key to this, and these clusters are integral throughout the RMI2 mission, as well as the services and the companies and participants that are within RMI2. This is a $7.2 million project that's part of that $100 million the mayor referred to that will be taking place in the next 18 months here in North College urban renewal area. And of course, this project again wouldn't have been successful without the assistance of the New Market Tax Credit Program or the assistance of the Urban Renewal Authority, which is bringing $2.8 million of tax increment financing to the project. So with that, I'd like to acknowledge Christina Vincent, our program manager for the Urban Renewal Authority, and all the hard work that she's put into this, managing that process through the Urban Renewal Authority and ultimately ending up with a recommendation to approve from the Citizens Advisory Group of North College, and then finally with the approval of the Urban Renewal Authority Board to participate in this. Without the support of those groups, this project would not happen. So I'd really appreciate your help in thanking them today. So in conclusion, I think this has been a sometimes thrilling project, certainly a difficult project to wrap our hands around and get and deliver, but exciting. And I think I really would like to think of it as a testament to the kind of things that the city with its partners will be doing in the future. So thank you very much.
And last but not least, Mark Forsyth, who's the CEO, Executive Director of RMI2. And probably more so than anybody, Mark's borne the brunt of dealing with this project since it's gotten teed up. And I'm really fortunate and feel fortunate to be here today with you, Mark, to kick this thing off. It's been quite a journey.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Well, thank you all for coming today, and thank you, Mayor Hutchinson, for the great weather. It's really beautiful. I was worried this morning. Okay, Darren. Let's see, I'm just so excited to see this project finally get underway. As Mike said, it's been a 2-year journey so far, and it's taken a lot of work from many, many different people. So what I'm feeling today is gratitude, and in the 3 to 5 minutes I've been allotted here, I'm going to try to thank as many people who've been part of this as I can. First of all, just my sincere appreciation to the City of Fort Collins for their unwavering support of RMI Squared, and as well as for their visionary leadership in creating economic opportunity and jobs for our community. It's really been exemplary in my mind. To Mayor Hutchinson and City Manager Darren Attebery, I can't tell you how much your support and just great support and championing this project has meant to us. And to Ben and the rest of the City Council members who've been very supportive and voted unanimously to support this project, which I'm told is not an everyday occurrence. Really want to express my sincere appreciation. And I can't say enough about Mike Freeman and every member of his staff, Claire and Josh and everyone else who've been just supporting RMI Squared and this project in ways that are too numerous for me to even begin to mention in this time. Also to Ted Shepard and all of the city staff members that were involved in the development review process. I think we set a new record for a development review of a project of this scope, which is great. Hard work by everybody involved. Also like to thank Ken Mannon and his staff for finding us the temporary home we've so desperately needed until we get this project done. That's all city provided facilities as well. Also, in addition to the City of Fort Collins, I'd like to thank the leadership from Colorado State University, City of Loveland, NCEDC, Colorado Bioscience Association, UNC, and Larimer County for their collaborative partnership and also financial support. And to our funding partners on the building, the North College Urban Renewal Authority, U.S. Bank, which is a private investor on this project, and the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. Just thank you for seeing the opportunity in this project and making the necessary capital available to make it happen. Don Marasica, to you and your staff and the Colorado Economic Development Commission, thank you very much for the generous grant that's helping us expand our programs and services in the next year. And special thank you to our stellar group of volunteer advisors and mentors that provide many hours of their time and great advice to help our entrepreneurs and really are the core of our program and one of the best services we provide. And to all of the professional service providers as well who give support to our clients and also often sponsor our programs and events. So thank you to the Board of Directors. Mike already mentioned you, but I think your vision and thinking outside of the box has really created the path to get this project launched. So great job. And thank you to my partners, Kelly and Nicole at RMI Squared, who put in many hours and much energy to keep the wheels on the bus, as I say. Sometimes it feels like the bus is heading down the canyon out of control, if you've heard that analogy. Also want to make sure to thank my project manager on this project, Dan Tweeten, has represented us through every step of the financing, design, and now construction. Done a great job. And also like to thank Dan for the really cool bike. If you see it there, he just awarded it today to us as a present. And so we'll have something to get from the current headquarters here to the job site to watch the progress. And also Charlie Kuipers, who's also worked with Dan. Between the two of them, they've lost a lot of sleep on this project so that I wouldn't have to, and I'm very grateful for that. We're really excited to be working with urban development partners, with Mike Bello as project manager. Dome Construction, the entire team have been just wonderful and have made a huge amount of progress already on this site. And Institute for the Built Environment at CSU, and a whole host of designers, architects, and subcontractors that are really putting forth everything to build a facility we're all going to be proud of when it's done. Thank you to our amazing entrepreneurs who are out trying to save the world. They provide the purpose for this project as well as for our whole organization. And finally, thank you to the entire community that has been so supportive in all of our endeavors, and particularly to our new neighbors and friends in the North College Business Association, who've been very welcoming and supportive. We're really excited to be your neighbors. And before we grab our shovels, I actually have one last thing to say. It's actually a very exciting announcement, new information that I decided to mention here because it affects this site as well as being a great example of why we do what we do. And if you look over to the west, the pile of dirt over there is going to be the home of one of the next big new development projects in North College that has not yet been announced. And details of that, we just reached agreement this week with Veersal Solar, one of RMI Squared's clients, and they'll be building a building in 12 to 18 months on that site. It'll be about 20,000 square feet. It'll be 20,000 square feet, and eventually we'll have 100 employees or more coming to visit it every day. So we're happy to have them as neighbors as well. G.J. Pierman from Veersal will be at our reception, and if you'd like to hear more about it, I'm sure he'll be happy to talk about it there. But we're just really excited. That's an example of what we do. We're not a homeless shelter for entrepreneurs. We like to think of it as a launching pad instead. So we help them get ready, and then they return the investment, many times over in terms of the jobs and economic development they ultimately create for the community. So anyway, I thought that was just a great example to share today. So it's truly an exciting day for Northern Colorado and for Fort Collins and for RMI Squared and for all of the entrepreneurs in this area. So thank you all.